Dead Island 2 has been in development for 9 years, and fans are eagerly anticipating its release. The game is set in Los Angeles, which is not an island despite the title. However, the game's developers have cleverly nicknamed the city Hella, which is overflowing with all sorts of undead creatures. At the beginning of the game, you attempt to escape the city by plane, but things go awry, and you find yourself back on the condemned streets of LA, fighting your way through hordes of zombies. At the core of this game is a series of well-designed and creative moments that take place in various settings, including mega mansions, Hollywood Boulevard, water treatment facilities, a haunted carnival, and even movie sets. The design of these moments is meant to be fun and quirky, and they offer players plenty of excitement and zaniness. The movie set levels, in particular, are a standout feature, allowing players to run from soundstage to soundstage and activate pyrotechnics and special effects to defeat zombies. Despite its size, the game is not technically an open-world game, but this structure works really well. Players access and load into different areas from the main actress mansion area, and each area is unique, fairly large, and filled with detail, with no copy and paste or filler content. Some areas are more linear, while others are wide open, providing players with a range of options. Side quests are also a highlight of the game, as they offer their own unique areas, creative scenarios, and memorable characters who eventually take up residence in your survivor's mansion. The areas in this game are impressively designed and filled with interesting details. While exploring, you can stumble upon abandoned houses that reveal the story of the person who lived there or what happened to them. The game does a great job of environmental storytelling through its hidden nooks and crannies. The exploration isn't just about finding crafting scraps and weapons, it's about discovering what each area has to offer. The game doesn't rely on the constant motivation of rewards to keep players engaged. Instead, it allows them to find enjoyment in exploring for its own sake. Additionally, the game features a range of humorous signs and quirky details, such as poking fun at influencers, that add an extra layer of enjoyment to the experience. Dead Island 2 is a decent game. It offers a straightforward, no-frills experience that appeals to gamers who enjoyed the original Dead Island. The game centers on a monster-slaying adventure that can be played solo or cooperatively. It features a range of wacky weapons, repetitive combat, and a well-designed world. Unlike many modern games, Dead Island 2 Inches does not have sprawling open-world environments or complex RPG mechanics. Instead, it focuses on delivering a fun and enjoyable gaming experience that does not rely on microtransactions or other in-game purchases. The game in question is a typical release with its own set of shortcomings, yet still provides an enjoyable experience. The standout feature of the game is its setting, Los Angeles, California. While events from the original game are loosely tied in, they serve as a minor reference and are not essential to understanding the current storyline. The game's premise centers around a zombie outbreak in Los Angeles, as players find themselves in a group of strangers trying to evacuate on a plane. However, the plane crashes, leaving the survivors stranded in the middle of Los Angeles. Players must work together to find a way out of the city. There are 6 playable characters, or Slayers, each with their own personality, voice lines, and starting stats. For example, Jacob is a former London stockbroker turned Hollywood stuntman, whose innate skills allow for a minor damage boost while attacking in quick succession, as well as a critical damage boost while his stamina is low. Clara is also into stunts, but specifically of the motorcycle variety. Her innate skills include a moderate toughness boost while her health is critical, and a minor damage boost when close to multiple zombies. At the beginning of the game, players select one of 6 Slayers to play as. Each Slayer has unique abilities and bonuses, as well as varying stats. The Slayers include Danny, a roller derby rocker from Ireland, Jacob, a British punk, Ryan, a male stripper, Amy, an athlete, Bruno, a hustler, and Carla, a street-smart stunt person. Choosing a Slayer is an important decision, as players must stick with their chosen character throughout the game. The Slayers all have distinct personalities and abilities, making it challenging to select just one. After careful consideration, the reviewer chose Jacob, drawn to his balanced stats, cool appearance, and prominent placement on the game's box art. Ryan is an exotic dancer dressed as a fireman, on a mission to rescue his little brother who was left behind in Fresno, California before the outbreak. He has only one innate skill that gives him a moderate force boost when trying to block or dodge to avoid an attack. Bruno is a hustler who pulled off a heist before the zombie apocalypse began, and his innate skills give him a moderate boost in stamina regeneration and an increased chance of getting better loot. The game features a variety of quests and side missions, along with a drop-kick move that is sure to provide some entertaining moments. However, while Dead Island 2 is a fun playthrough with cool environments and gore, it doesn't reinvent gaming by any means. It's a straightforward co-op zombie-killing game that doesn't overstay its welcome, and players can expect to get up to 30 hours of gameplay if they want to see and do everything. After the plane crash, players team up with some surviving Hollywood personalities and take refuge in a massive mansion owned by an actress in the hills. From there, players embark on various missions and objectives. It is during this phase of the game that its distinctive personality is revealed, with a dark sense of humor and deeply cynical tone. While some of the characters may come across as over-the-top and cringy, there are some intriguing aspects to their personalities. Additionally, players continue to encounter more odd and fascinating characters throughout the game, resembling the eclectic cast of Grand Theft Auto V. Although the overall story may not be riveting, the scathing commentary on Hollywood vanity provides an intriguing twist. The game's quick vignettes featuring the various characters pop up and come and go rapidly, but it's satisfying to see their stories unfold. Ultimately, the game's portrayal of Hollywood vanity and satire is cleverly woven into its world building. The game offers an entertaining commentary on the excesses of the entertainment industry, resulting in a uniquely enjoyable experience for players. The game's environments are visually impressive, with attention to detail in the form of hidden areas and environmental storytelling. Exploring abandoned buildings can reveal clues about the former inhabitants and events that took place there, which adds depth to the game world. The game strikes a balance between the need to scavenge for crafting materials and weapons and the desire to explore for the sake of curiosity. While exploration may not always result in a tangible reward, the variety of each area and the intricacies within them make it worthwhile. In addition, the game has an excellent sense of humor, with humorous signs and Easter eggs littered throughout the environment. Some of these take aim at popular culture and influencers, forest fire prevention signs and warning signs, providing a refreshing and humorous perspective to the game's world building. One example is the fake influencer house, which is filled with clever and witty humor. Overall, the game is a thrilling zombie-slaying adventure with creative set pieces that keep the gameplay engaging. Although the core gameplay of killing zombies may become repetitive, the variety of scenarios and environments make up for it, making for a fun and enjoyable experience. The game features a diverse range of locations, from mega mansions to Hollywood Boulevard to haunted carnival piers. Each area is unique and well-designed, with creative and fun scenarios that keep players engaged. One standout feature is the movie set areas, where players can activate special effects machines and pyrotechnics to make zombies fall victim to the chaos. The game also features decent boss encounters, making the experience all the more enjoyable. The game is not technically open world, but it's still fairly large, with a range of unique areas that are accessed and loaded separately from the main Actress Mansion area. The side quests are well crafted and feel necessary, with their own creative scenarios and unique characters that players will want to bring back to their survivor's mansion. The combat in the game is serviceable but not groundbreaking. Different weapon types have different uses, but combat ultimately boils down to endlessly whacking away with trigger attacks and heavy attacks. However, the gore system really amps up the excitement, with visceral and satisfying feedback that makes the player feel truly immersed in the action. Overall, while the combat may not be the most innovative, the game is still enjoyable thanks to its well-crafted environments and attention to detail. The melee combat in this game is a brutal and satisfying experience. Blunt weapons shatter bones, and weapons leave deep gashes in enemies. Sharp weapons can hack off chunks of skin and slice off limbs. Even acid melts their skin, revealing the gruesome insides of teeth, eyeballs, and bones. It's a gore system that doesn't get old and really elevates the overall gameplay, especially when it comes to the bigger sponge-type boss enemies. By the end of the fight, they are left looking like a brutalized mess, just a pile of meat. However, the gunplay isn't as polished as the melee combat. While it's still enjoyable, the settings didn't quite feel right to the reviewer, which made using guns less satisfying. The co-op mode may enhance the combat experience, though, as many players enjoy the fun of smashing and murdering zombies with friends. Additionally, the game has a skill card system that allows players to customize their gameplay by unlocking different abilities and bonuses. The cards are earned by progressing through the story or by finding them in the world. They range from simple attribute bonuses like better critical hit chances and health boosts to more complex moves like drop kicks, jump kicks, and even a kind of ultimate move. Players can also eventually acquire zombie rage abilities, which add an interesting twist to the gameplay. Although the skill card system is not as complex as a traditional skill tree or point system, it does the bare minimum of allowing players to customize their gameplay. Players can also upgrade and customize their weapons by finding blueprints and using the materials they collect to craft upgrades. While this aspect of the game is not as fleshed out as some other RPGs, it's still a nice touch that adds an extra layer of depth to the gameplay. Weapons come in different varieties, and there are various guns and opportunities for environmental kills. Combat is made more interesting by combining modded weapons with throwables, bait, and pipe bombs. Instead of a traditional skill tree, Dead Island 2 features skill cards, which can be scavenged off the body of zombies found in hidden locations all over LA or gained from leveling up. The game features an arsenal of weapons that can inflict different types of damage, such as blunt weapons that can easily snap limbs and leave gashes, sharp weapons that can hack off chunks of skin and slice off limbs, and acid that can melt the skin of enemies, revealing their teeth, eyeballs, and bones. The bigger sponge-type boss enemies in particular end up looking like a bunch of meat after being brutalized. While the guns may not feel quite right due to the settings, the combat is still enjoyable, especially in co-op mode. The game also features a skill card system that allows players to customize their playstyle by unlocking cards through story progression and exploration. These cards offer various bonuses such as critical hit chances and health bonuses, as well as different moves like drop kicks, jump kicks, and sliding into characters to deal more damage. Later in the game, players can even unlock zombie rage abilities. While the skill card system is not as complex as a skill tree or point system, it offers a decent amount of progression. Players can also upgrade and customize their weapons using blueprints found through exploration. These upgrades include adding electricity, fire, and other mods that have trade-offs, such as more damage but less durability or bleed damage. While weapons have durability and can break over time, players can find rare weapons with more upgrade slots. Consumables are not craftable but are on a cooldown, so players don't have to constantly scavenge for items. Additionally, players can collect specific zombie limbs to upgrade their weapons with extra spice. Environmental creativity is also a big part of combat, with players able to use the environment to their advantage. For example, players can dump water on enemies to make them soggy, and then electrocute them with a car battery, or create a pool of water to shock and take out a group of enemies. Gasoline can also be used to set enemies on fire, and there are even resistant enemy types that require specific strategies. Players can set up chain reactions to take out enemies, creating a rock-paper-scissors dynamic with different enemy types. The game's visuals are also impressive, with smooth frame rates and great lighting and colors. The game captures the essence of California, with Hollywood vanity and cynicism mixed with palm trees, oceans, and sunsets. Overall, the combat system and environmental creativity make for an enjoyable experience. The visual representation of Dead Island 2 Inches showcases the contrasting aspects of the Californian dream, from the glamour of Hollywood to its grittier areas. However, some players might experience motion sickness, a subjective issue that can be remedied by turning off the motion blur. In terms of gameplay, Dead Island 2 Inches delivers some decent scenario variety and cool environments with satisfying gore, as well as a good dropkick move and zany moments. Side quests are also enjoyable, and the game does not overstay its welcome. While it does not innovate the gaming industry, it provides simple and fun co-op zombie-killing gameplay that can be enjoyed for up to 30 hours. The game also features drop-in, drop-out co-op, allowing players to team up with 2 friends to take down zombies together. Unfortunately, Dead Island 2 does not support split-screen co-op. The game was announced 9 years ago, disappeared for long periods of time, and changed developers more than once. It will be available for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC via the Epic Games Store on April 21, 2023. There are 3 versions of the game: Standard, Deluxe, and Gold Edition. Each comes with different pre-order bonuses, including the base game, Memories of Benoit Pack, Gold Weapons Pack, Character Packs 1 and 2, Pulp Weapons Pack, and Expansion Pass. Dead Island 2 is being developed by Dambuster Studios and published by Deep Silver. The long development cycle is a testimony of the dedication to getting it right. In conclusion, while the game is not without its flaws, it is still enjoyable to play. The highlight of the game is undoubtedly the setting of Los Angeles, and the selection of unique slayers adds to the game's appeal. Ultimately, Dead Island 2 Inches meets the expectations of players who are seeking more co-op zombie-killing fun. While it does not necessarily impress all the time, it does not disappoint either. If you have been eagerly waiting for Dead Island 2 Inches since its announcement in 2013 to 2014, then it is definitely worth checking out. Share your thoughts about Dead Island 2 Inches in the comments section below. And there you have it, everything you need to know about Dead Island 2. For more on the game, including guides and our review, keep it locked to Gamer's Den. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.